Hey guys, welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh video. Today, it's a in real life video. Uh, I was thinking about doing a combo video for this new deck that I made, and I've been kind of on the fence about it a little bit, but the deck that I'm planning to run this weekend, this probably won't be posted until afterwards, and simply put, this deck is kind of crazy if it can go off, so I might do some test hands and maybe just see if I can show you some of it. Yeah, but before we get into that, I might as well tell you what I am playing. What I am playing is a 60 card deck. Sorry about this. Turn that back. 60 card deck. 60 card Spyral LightSworn. It works, surprisingly. This was actually what I was running before Double Helix actually came out, and it was working really well, and now that Double Helix is actually out, it actually works even better because it can continue the plays a lot quicker, and it can just make larger boards than what it originally was. So yeah, so let me shuffle the deck a little bit, and I'll keep talking about it, but yeah, so essentially what the deck strives to do is just either go first or second, and it works either way, because the deck is very good at systematically breaking down boards, as well as building a nice board. Now, the problem that it faces right now is that if I go against a going second Spyral deck, then I have to deal with a bunch of hand traps, which is going to be a little hard to play against. But if I can play through them, then I will, and I can do very well if I can. And if they didn't open any, then I'm going off. And the biggest problem is probably Pen Magician and how they can simply make a nice board, but I don't know if that's actually a huge issue, because like I said, this deck is pretty good at breaking down boards. Because I've gone against non-Electromite and Electromite Pendulum Magicians, and I was able to break their boards multiple times. And it was like some of the best boards that they could do. So yeah, so let's see if and this is going to be a little awkward because I'm holding the camera with my on hand. Here we go. Now I'm holding it with my on hand. Oh my god. Okay. We might be able to do something with this. This is a little awkward because I don't really have any. It's hard to do with only one hand. Alright, so yeah. Well, we opened Lone Fire, we opened Brilliant Fusion, we opened Master Plan, Ghost Ogre, and we opened Orphan Scorpio. So, what I like to do is do the Lone Fire Blossom thing of essentially just sending off all three Lone Fires. And this is pretty hard to do with only one hand, so let me quickly do this. I'll get this out for later, and this is basically just pretending that the opponent didn't open up any hand traps, like just got really unlucky, didn't open up any at all. And we special out our Orphan Scorpio, and we'll activate Orphan Scorpio's effect to send one monster from our hand to special summon from deck, a Predaplant monster. We will send our Master Plan, and then we will special summon Darling Cobra. Yeah, this is going to get messy really quick, I can already tell. Yeah, sorry again. This is... yeah, I don't have a stand with me for this, so yeah. We're going to then activate his effective search. We're going to search out our Brilliant Fusion, wherever that may lie. Again, I have to set down the camera. Brilliant Fusion. And then we will then overlay our monsters into a MX Saber Invoker. Activate the Invoker's effect. Detach. Special Summon. Special Summon Heroic Challenger 1000 Blades from our deck. Now this is where it can kinda just change off, because personally online I have been really liking the new Noble Knight link for this combo instead, simply because of her ability to search and special summon. But I don't have her right now. I have like everything else I wanted from the sneak peek other than Scoldy, but yeah. So we'll use these two, since they're both Earth, to make a Mrs. Radiant. Wherever it might be. Here it is. Special. And then after that we activate Brilliant Fusion. And we send off a Trick Clown. And we send off a Gem Knight. I personally send off Tourmaline. I generally don't like Garnet as much as people love Garnet. I don't like him as much. I'd rather run Tourmaline because he has a nice defense. And if you have to, you can set him and he can block and attack. Usually, because 18 defense is sometimes a little big for some monsters. But yeah. Alright. And from the Brilliant Fusion, you of course summon Seraphinite. And then you activate Trick Clown's effect to special summon by taking 1000. Since you take damage, you special summon Heroic Challenger 1000 Blades. And then you go ahead and you overlay your Heroic Challenger and your Trick Clown to make a Minerva. Boom. And then you can activate Minerva's effect. Mill 3. 1, 2, 3. Since you milled a, we milled a LightSworn here. We draw a card. We draw Super Agent, which is very nice. Okay, so let's just pretend that we call the thing wrong, but we at least figure out what the top card is. So then we go ahead and normal summon our Super Agent. And then we activate the Quick Fix effect Engrave that we milled. And we send off our Brilliant Fusion that is now dead in hand to special summon himself. And we'll activate his effect to search out a Big Red. Give me one moment. Spyral Gear Big Red. Alright. And then we go ahead and we use our Seraph and our Misses to link up into a Deco Talker. And we put him in the other zone. And then we use our Quick Fix and our Super Agent. Quick Fix will, of course, get banished, and our Agent will go to grave. We make double Helix. We'll then activate double Helix effect, special summon from our grave the master plan earlier that we sent. And then we activate master plan's effect to search out a mission. We'll search out the trap, rescue, which is ran at 3, so yeah. And then from there we are able to activate our Big Red and special summon our agent back from grave and link up with these two. to make a proxy. You can either make proxy or underclock taker, but I personally would like proxy in this situation due to where the zones are. So yeah, and then our master plan's effect will activate to search out a Spyral resort and one Spyral monster. I'll search out a Spyral resort and a Spyral gear last resort. We can then go ahead and activate our Spyral resort and activate its effect to search out Sleeper. And then we'll use Sleeper to banish 3 Spyrals from our graveyard. We will banish Master Plan, Big Red, and I think we might have another Spyral card in here. I'm going to quickly check. We do not, so we have to unfortunately banish the Agent, which, of course, as many of you Spyral players may know, is not too optimal, especially when you have access to Spyral Mission Rescue. And then you're going to activate your last sort onto Sleeper, and from there you're able to set your Spyral Mission Rescue, and you have Ghost Ogre in hand. It wasn't too optimal of a hand, to be honest, and it didn't look like a great hand. And on end phase you want to shuffle your Tourmaline. Oh, whoops. Wherever it is, but you get the idea. And then if your board gets cleared in some fashion, you can from Minerva, your Trick Clown will get hit off, and then your Trick Clown will go off to special summon, and then you special summon your Thousand Blades. And this board right here, this part, is pretty protective, because if they decide to try and target something that you don't want gotten rid of, you can use Decode Talker to get rid of Double Helix, which is very easy to bring back. Or you could use Proxy Dragon to save something just in case. And of course Spyral Sleeper is there because it's Spyral Sleeper. And on your next turn you can activate Rescue or not activate it, and basically just use your last resort to send that to grave. And you can use Minerva to mill 3. Well, let's even see what our next 3 would be. So our draw would be Drone, and then we activate Minerva. You send off an Agent, a second Agent, and an Ogre. So yeah, that'd be perfect, because now you have 2 Agents of Grave for your rescue. So yeah, I mean, it's not. Hey guys, welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh video. And today I'm doing a deck list of a deck that I personally played today at my locals for Yu-Gi-Oh Day, and turned out very well. I played 6-card Spyral. I got 4th place, which allowed me to get the Field Center, which I then instantly sold because I'm personally not a fan of it. I sold it for 15. I think it's probably higher than that, but let's get into the deck. I played, like I said, 60-card Spyral LightSworn. And let's get into the list. I don't have anybody to hold the camera for me, so this is going to be a little awkward. So yeah, let's start out. I played Triple Lone Fire, which is kind of expected. If you have 1 Lone Fire, you're going to play 3. I played Triple Orphis. Played 1 Darling Cobra. And I played 1 Global. And I'll get to cards I thought I might play at the end, and I'll talk to you about why I was thinking about them. For the LightSworn engine, I played Triple Lumina. Only 2 Wolf, which I know people might get mad at me for that. And Triple Raiden. The reason I didn't play Triple Wolf was due to every time I was testing, I always had him in hand when I had him at 3. So it simply put was basically just to make sure I didn't draw a wolf every single time, because that's what was happening when I had him at 3. It might have been because I'm a bad shuffler or something else, but that's what was occurring. So I took him down to 2. For Spyral monsters, I had 1 Master Plan, Triple Agent, Triple Tough, 1 Sleeper, 1 Quick Fix, 1 Last Resort. I used to run him at 2 in other builds, but now because of the game and with Pendulum Magicians, I just don't see him being good at 2, since it's too searchable to have to play at 2, and it's okay at 1 because I can still special him back, and 1 drone. And then we have the non-spiral monsters, or, well, basically archetype monsters that I play. Well, I don't know what to call it, but Triple Snow, Hand Traps, played 1 Maxi, Rip, Triple Ogre. For Brilliant Fusion stuff, I played Trick Clown, Electromagnetic, Thousand Blades, and Gemini Tourmaline. Then when we get into the spells, let's see. I played the triple necessary evil of Pot of Desires, played triple brilliant, played triple charge, and they're different rarities, I know. I'm a scrub. Played triple resort, rip resort, only 2 big red, soul charge, grass, Raigeki, and Dark Hole. There really isn't much to talk about here. I guess the only thing that would be able to be talked about was the big red. I played 2 of it simply because I didn't want to play at 1 and mill it, and I didn't want to play at 3 because it's going to always, because when I have it at 3 I usually see it too much, which I don't like. And finally, for traps, we have triple rescue and 1 utility wire. Some people don't like utility wire. I love utility wire because it's perfect in a pendulum matchup of just breaking their scales without destroying it, so they get effects. So yeah. Into the extra deck. This one's going to be the super awkward one. So I played 1 Nat Beast for Global plus Agent, Omega for Raiden plus 1 level 4, or Global plus Master Plan to make her go off. Played Invoker for the Brilliant Fusion combo. Played double Minerva because LightSworn, and 6 card deck. 1 Guska because Necessary Evil. Tornado Dragon, Utopia package, and I played German Super. Proxy Dragon, Underclock, only 1 double helix because I'll get into that afterwards. 1 misses. Just realized the way I was taking them out was pushing it out of the sleeve. Whoops. So like I said, 1 misses, 1 decode, and 1 Seraphonite for, of course, Brilliant Fusion. So yeah. The only reason why I played only 1 double helix is because I simply didn't always need him, and he was a lot of times just a extender in some cases that I didn't really even need to do. Finally, into side deck, I played 3 spells, which were all Spell Shattering Arrow, which were only for a pendulum matchup. Played triple Wiretap, triple Mind Crush. And that was basically just for evenly matched, but it worked for other decks. I don't think I actually ever activated one of these in the matches that I had. I had triple Solemn. Well, Solemn Strike, I should say. I didn't play Warning because I just felt like I didn't need it, and since it's at 1, I wouldn't see it enough that it'd be useful enough. And finally I played 2 Jack Frost, and I played an Abyss Dweller. And Abyss Dweller wasn't in the main because I didn't think I'd have to go against anything that was graveyard based too much. And as well, I didn't really see too much that I wanted out for main deck. So yeah, I just went ahead and kept it inside. And well, for my matches, I should actually say what my matches were, and might be a little better on my part. First round I went against Dinosaur, and I got absolutely wrecked. I bricked way too hard. Like, I drew wolves and everything. It was horrible. And I've never really gotten to those hands before. It did not work. Next one, I went against, I think that was Pendulum Magician. Yeah, that was the Pendulum Magician one, which I totally just, it was stupid. So, he made Zark, and yes, he actually made Zark, and nuked my board. And I did a special chain link to where I was able to special summon Thousand Blades and destroy him off Sleeper so I could special a Agent. And simply put, I just stalled hard to basically run until I got to what I needed to basically drone an Agent, so then he was able to attack over Zark or attack for game because he was already very low. And we later learned it was very easy to game him. And I did this because I had no other out at the time. Because in the next turn I made Maguzka, had in defense, and I tried to go up to make a lightning to attack over it, but the lightning failed. So my Utopia got destroyed. So I was like, shit, what do I do now? I went into the Agent plus drone mindset, and what I needed to do that was either drone plus Agent or drone plus Big Red. And I think I ran out of agents because I did not look at my desires pile, and I banished an agent or two, so I didn't know that I had to get to a Big Red. But eventually, Big Red was, and I'm going to tell you this, I had 3 cards left in deck before I beat him. Basically, I just stalled out hardcore with Electromagnetic Turtle, with Snow, banishing stuff that was in face-up attack position, because I attacked and did some damage sometimes. And eventually, I realized, hey, I can game him now, because he normaled a Joker and had a Sorcerer on field, and what had happened was I made Underclock Taker, which was pointing to Minerva, and I then made that Joker 0, attacked for 2k, used Snow, and attacked Sorcerer for game, because he was only at 2300 because I dealt so much damage. So basically I didn't even have to out the Zark, which was pretty funny. And the most funny thing was, this was game 1, so I took him into time as well. So there was no game 2 or game 3 due to tournament rules of if you're in time in game 1, round's over. Person with the most wins, wins. And I just won, so yay, I won it. Next one was a match against Trickstar, and I absolutely stomped. He did not get a chance. Well, game 1 he did get kind of a chance. I activated Maxi, and he took the challenge, and he utterly failed, but he burned me for quite a lot because of Lycoris. I totally blinked on Lycoris effect to make you lose 200 each, and he had the field spell up, so I was getting shit on by my Maxi. I thought he was going to beat me. Ignore the Discord sound. That was me. Oh my god. Who is messaging me? So, I'm going to try and end this pretty fairly quickly, because I'm getting messaged a bunch. Um, but eventually, he had to pass turn. I was left with only a few life points. I Raigeki'd him and OTK'd. Next game, I just OTK'd. And then the final one, there was only 4 rounds because we didn't have too many people. But I went against another Pendulum player, and this one I think was more experienced. This was Koi. He basically didn't have Electromite, so he had to play a Electromite build without Electromite, and he did very well. He went like 2-2. I don't think he wants to actually do a deck profile as well, but essentially what occurred was that I just went off on him too much that he couldn't do anything. I locked down his scales with Sleeper and Spyral, Super Agent Engrave with Rescue to where he couldn't do anything. And I kept just destroying his scales or just making it where he didn't want to do much. And that's basically all that happened because he couldn't really do much in some cases because I remember in the first game he bricked pretty hard. He opened like none of the same level. He opened a Time Gazer, a Wisdom Eye, and an Oak Dragon, and he played 2 scales that were okay, but he didn't draw that well, so he couldn't really do much since he didn't have Electromite. So yeah, but I just gotta say, uh, I think the deck did very well, uh, and the deck itself is going to be hit, but not too hard, because Resort's going to 1, and since it's a 60 card deck, it's not going to be easy to draw it, so you can still do the Master Plan combo with it, and still go off with grass and such. So, I think it's very good, and you can replace it with Monster Reborn and something else that is released off the ban list. Hell, if you want to, you could throw in Troop through Scoop into the deck, and it would work, because it just does. Milling in Spyral does work. Nobody really realizes that, because nobody wants to go off to a new type of deck. And yeah, but if you guys like this, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more from us at NHK With that,